If you guys missed part 1 of this story, I strongly recommend that you check that out by watching the Musketeer origin story first and then watching this one. I'll have it linked by clicking the I or by clicking the link in the description below. The continuation of the Musketeer story begins as soon as the regular Musketeer arrived back home. When the regular Musketeer got back home, the 3 Musketeers told her that her sister ran away for some reason that they weren't fully sure about. So even though they all should have been in super high spirits and celebrating the Musketeer's success and being entered into the Clash Royale arenas, instead they were just sitting there all sad and depressed about their sister leaving. All 4 of those sisters and the father waited for a few days for their lost daughter to come back, but she never did. And so everyone had to try and move on. The Musketeer went back to the arena to go battle for the Clash Royale king, and she ended up drowning herself out in that, where she just threw herself into the action and ended up forgetting that her sister was gone. And the 3 Musketeers remained at home. For them, it was a little harder for them to forget, as they had all the time in the world on their hands. And for a long time, the 3 Musketeers believed that their sister was kidnapped. And after a while, the 3 Musketeers began to think that maybe she didn't just run away or something like that, maybe she was actually kidnapped. And so they began training with their muskets now with an actual purpose. They wanted to avenge their sister and find her, and also take out her kidnapper. And so every day when the Musketeer returned home from battling, she would train her triplet sisters to become the best they could possibly be. Eventually the triplets became just as good as the regular Musketeer, and they set out to avenge their sister. Although they couldn't find their lost sister, or find where she was even taken to, they decided to fight crime and make sure that bad things like this never happened to anyone else. And so they would lurk the streets at night and protect civilians and other troops from the greedy goblins of the night and any other sort of mischief. They continued doing this every night until one night something a little out of the ordinary happened. When the 3 sisters were out at night watching the streets, they saw the prince walking back and dragging his feet. It was unusual to see the prince without his pony, so this was already a red flag. He looked exhausted and ready to fall over. At that moment, a group of goblins saw this as an opportunity to rob the prestigious prince. They circled the prince and began robbing him. The 3 sisters saw this and jumped down and shot at the goblins. The goblins all quickly ran away and left the prince alone. The prince stood up and thanked his 3 saviors. He told them that he was out on a ride when his pony ran away from him, and that he had to walk all the way back and he was too tired to fight back. Otherwise, he would have destroyed those pesky goblins on his own. He then insisted that he would pay them back for their services. So the next day, the prince brought the 3 sisters to his dad, who was the king of the Clash Royale arenas. He then told him about how they saved his life and that they could possibly be a very valuable asset to his team. The king looked at them and asked, "Haven't I seen you guys somewhere before?" And they replied, letting him know about their sister, who was the Musketeer. The king's eyes lit up as the Musketeer was one of his favorite troops in the arena, and so he said, "Oh, of course." He would be more than willing to have 3 of them join his team, although the only problem was that he was a little short on funds and he couldn't afford to hire all 3 of them. However, the 3 girls weren't in it for the money and didn't want to be split up anyways, and so they told the king that they could join for a lesser amount, which ended up being 9 elixir for all 3 of them. So after that, the king fitted them all with their new armor, and the next day the 3 Musketeers joined their other sister in the Clash Royale arenas to fight for the king. So after that, the king fitted them all with their new armor, and the next day the 3 Musketeers joined their other sister in the Clash Royale arenas to fight for the king. And just like their sister, the 3 Musketeers did not disappoint. And on top of all of this, and at night, the 3 Musketeers continued to do their good work of keeping the streets safe and helping protect innocent troops. And as for their long-lost sister, they never found her until a few years later, somewhere you would never expect. But her story is a very long and interesting one, and so I will save it for the next video. And anyways, that there is the story of the 3 Musketeers. If you guys liked this video, then please leave a thumbs up and comment down below your thoughts on the story. Did you like it? Is there stuff I could have improved on? Let me know. As soon as this video reaches 1,000 likes, I will post the 3rd and final part of the story, where I will tell you exactly what happened to the long-lost daughter and where she went. So like the video and subscribe with notifications so that you don't miss it, and in the meantime while you wait for that video, feel free to check out my other story videos. I have a playlist linked here with all of the other origin stories that I've done so far. Click the I in the top right to check them out, and anyways, I will see you guys all in the next story video. Peace out.